Hello everyone, I'm Ed Martin with Martin Knives. Thought I'd make a little video this morning for you. A lot of guys have been asking me about how to sharpen a knife with a convex edge. How do you put a convex edge on a knife? So I thought I would make this video. It's going to have to be a little longer. I'm going to do it in two sections. I'm going to first show you how I do it in the shop with a grinder, and then I'm going to show you how I do it with a little sharpening system that I use to be able to do it in the field or in a place where I don't have the equipment. I'm going to switch over now to the grinder. First, let me show you what I do. This is what I put onto a flat platen. It's a piece of leather with a piece of packing material glued to the back of it, and then I just slip this over the flat platen on the grinder like that, and then I take kind of a wore out belt, about a 220 grit, and I put this belt on over that and tighten it down, and then I turn it on real slow. Don't want it going fast. This is a pocket knife that my son Newt made for me. He says if you want to find out if a knife is going to hold up, just give it to Dad. He'll find out for sure, because I'm pretty rough on a knife. And when I go to sharpen a knife like this, I always turn the edge down when I'm doing the convex edge. You can see this has already been done convex. I pretty well go all the way to the edge with it. You don't have to do that. You just put a bevel on it. But this is the way I do it. I come right up here like this, and I get a certain angle. You can bring the camera right up here over my shoulder if you can, and you can see as I do this, I just run it up against there, and I keep a certain angle, and then I just turn it like that as I sharpen it, and that way you get a good edge. And then I feel on this side for the wire edge. I'll feel to see if it's got a wire edge yet. I'll do it again, and then I'll get my wire edge like that. Now I'm feeling the wire edge on the edge of the knife. Right back at the back, it needs a little bit more. Get a little more speed. Yeah, I got that wire edge now all the way down it, and then I'll set this over to the other side, and then I'll run this like that, speed it up just a little, and bogging it down there. If you go to getting it too hot, you can just stick it over in the water and feel it a little. That makes sure that you don't get your knife too hot on one of these. But I got my thumb right up against it, so I can feel whether it's getting too warm or not when I'm doing this. Now I feel the wire edge all the way down this side of it. Once I get that wire edge on there good like that, well, then I'll take it over here to the buffer. This buffer like this, and I'll put a little white rouge on the buffer, and then I'll hit the buffer like that with it, and that knocks the wire edge off of it. And then you have your clean edge, the wire edge is gone, and then you can shave with it. You can see the hair there, it just shaves it right off. Okay, that's how I do it with the machinery. That's how I sharpen one with the machinery. But sometimes you don't have machinery. If you're in a spot where you don't have Most of you don't have a machine like that, a $3,000 grinder to be able to sharpen your knife with. You can do it on one of those little small grinders that some people have that only like $150 or so. But I wanted to show you something even more economical than that. But I just take a regular old 2x4, and you can see it here, and I take the belt just like you saw under some kind of a wore out belt, but I wanted about 120, especially on a knife that's really dull. I want about 120 grit. Get you 120 grit sandpaper, okay? And then take your block, your 2x4 block, and put some of that packing material on it. Just glue it on there on top. If you want to, you can put you a slot in it with a saw of some kind. I used the bandsaw to do this one, to put a slot on each end. Then you can stick your sandpaper in there and fold it over like that. And then to hold it in place, I use a screw in the end of it and hold it in place with the screw. You can use a nail or something like that to put it in place. You see, I've punched holes in the end of it. You could use a nail if you wanted to. This knife here has never been sharpened. It's got a dull edge. You can see I'm running my thumb back and forth, so it is not sharp. It is just come off out of being made. Now what I do is I take it, and this is 120 grit, remember, okay? Because this one is dull, and with this 120 grit I do this number. Holding it at an angle, at about 20-degree angle, I suppose, and I'm doing this. Now I'm feeling for a wire edge. All right, hadn't got one yet. All right, I'm gonna go to the other side now. Mashing down real hard when you're doing this, because this is a very dull knife. First time it's ever been sharpened. Okay, I'm beginning to get a wire edge up here at the front, and right along in here I don't have a wire edge. You can just take your fingers and feel, just push away from the edge like that, and you can feel that wire edge. But right along in here it quits. So now what I'm going to do is just drop back and just do the back side of it for a minute. My sandpaper is beginning to bog down and clog up. When my sandpaper starts to load up with grit, what I do is take a rubber deal like this. I suppose you could take any kind of a rubber thing. This is kind of a soft rubber deal that I use on the belts, and I just rub it on there like that, and that takes the grit out of the pores of that sandpaper, and then it'll cut better with that done. Now then, I can feel the wire edge all the way down the knife. Okay, I have switched over now to the 220 grit sandpaper, and underneath this sandpaper I have a piece of leather and one of these that are glued to the block of wood. So now you can go to the 220 grit, and this is where you get the finer edge for your knife. You can go right on down 600 grit if you want to. I don't know how fine you want to do it. For field work, I only do about 220, and then I do my leather after that to polish the edge a little bit. But you can do however you want to, as fine as you want to go. I've got to get this. Now this knife is made out of ATS 34, which is a stainless steel, and its Rockwell is around 60. So it's a hard stainless steel, and this is cutting it fine. I've got a wire edge that's formed all along the edge, so you can see that works well. Now once I get it down to that, well, then I take the sandpaper off and I put some green rouge on this leather piece, and then I polish the edge with that leather strop. Just strop it back and forth like that, and it'll gradually take the wire edge off of it. Just like a barber strops his razor. This is the same principle. Once you get your edge on a knife, there's no use in going back to the 120 grit unless it becomes very, very dull or has some chips in it or something like that along the edge. It's best just to come back to either the leather strop like this to maintain the edge, and maybe if it is pretty dull, you can go to the 220 grit and do it like that. Let's see. Okay guys, that does it for the video. I hope this helped you be able to do a convex edge better, and to be able to see how we do it here in the shop, how I do it here in this shop. And also, if you are interested in one of those little sharpening systems, well, let me know and I'll see if I can make up a batch of them. It's very simple to do. You can do it yourself. It's not that complicated. But if you want me to do it, well, you know, time's money, so I'll have to charge for it. I don't know exactly what I'll charge, 20, 25 bucks, something like that. I don't know. Whatever time time investment is the main thing on it. Okay, well, anyhow, I appreciate you watching and appreciate you being part of the Martin Knives customer group. Thanks. Bye.